I'm not so perfect, baby, yeah, you are. Come right.
So with Guilty Gear Strive on the horizon, I know a lot of people are looking at the roster and trying to figure out who they want to main. So today I want to talk about 3 things that you can look for in a character to decide who you want to play. First thing I want to talk about is design. This is just how a character looks, whether they're a big body character, a waifu character, a hero, a villain, or an oddball like Fang or Bedman, right? You could also consider their theme song, because you'll probably be hearing it a lot unless you change it in the settings. Those are the 2 things that I look for design-wise, right? Just how they physically look, and maybe their archetype based on how they look, right? Bigger bodies are usually grapplers, and then the hero characters are usually like well-rounded, like Ryu. And then villain characters are also well-rounded because they usually complement whatever the hero character is. The oddball characters are just really weird characters that don't really have anything in common with the other 2, right? Or other 3. Next, I want to talk about story and lore, how the characters interact with other characters, or how you could relate to their backstory, right? If that's something that's important to you, if you're a lore monster, you like reading into the universe, you watch, all the cutscenes, you do the story mode, or you watch, the Guilty Gear story, it's like 2 hours. If that's something that is important to you, it's not a silly thing to include when you're looking at what character you want to play, right? And this is probably the most important thing, is playstyle and archetype. When I say archetype, I mean rushdown characters, zoner characters, and well-rounded characters. Rushdown examples would be Karen or Milia. Zoners would be like Dhalsim, Dizzy, or Venom. And well-rounded characters would be Ryu, Ken, Kai, Soul, right? Rushdown characters usually need to get in to do a lot of damage, and they usually fight in closer quarters. And their goal is to really lock you into a corner, right? Or your goal is to lock somebody into a corner. Zoner characters usually hold their space very well, play keep out, and they're usually, throw fireballs, projectiles, things like that to keep you out. Well-rounded characters have a little bit of everything, right? They have a fireball game, they have reversal DP, they have good normals, and they can hold their space or they can play up close, right? Like Ryu or Ken. And my prevailing philosophy is that you should play a character that you think is fun no matter how hard they are, right? This plays into sort of the playstyle. Some characters are going to have harder execution inherently than others, right? But that shouldn't deter you from playing that character if you really like their design, and if you really like how they play, and you like their story, right? If you like all 3 of those things, or you just like their playstyle, you should stick with them. And this is because it'll keep you motivated to keep playing the game and learning and improving. If you pick a character that you don't really like but you can win with, you'll find that you're going to hit a wall. Because whatever you're using to win, whatever gimmick you're using to win, or however you're winning, is going to get figured out, and then you're going to have to start putting more time into this character that you don't even like, and you're probably going to end up quitting, right? So, from the start, pick a character, and don't look at tier lists, because tier lists honestly don't matter unless you're at the very highest level, right? And pick a character that you really are willing to invest a lot of time into and that you really like. I think, for example, for me, right, in Tekken I played Nina and Brian, and then in Guilty Gear I play Johnny right now. Those 3 characters are on the harder side of the cast for their games, right? Whether Nina and Brian, Brian has a lot of frame-perfect inputs, right? Taunt jet upper. He has some very steep execution, and Nina does too, right? And a lot of people say Nina is not worth the work for the amount of damage you do, and you can play other characters that are easier and cash out more, but for me, I just really like the character and I had a lot of fun playing it. Same thing with Brian. Johnny, on the other hand, I'm sure I would find more success playing Kai in Guilty Gear because his kit is simpler and I'd probably learn a lot faster execution and character mechanic wise, so I could focus on the game more in the short term, which might be smarter with a new game on the way because I'm playing Rev 2 right now. But in the end, it's still a video game, and I still value fun more than most other aspects. And the only other aspect that I really might value more than fun at times is competitive play, right? But they sort of go hand in hand, because a competitive play is what makes it fun for me. So, in the end, I think that if you take anything away from this video, it's just to pick a character that you think is fun, that you think looks cool, and that you think has a great story, or something that you can relate to. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you learned anything, please let me know. If you have any questions, concerns, or feedback, also let me know. Please consider subscribing.